Hello, manifestors. So, what does it mean to live in the end? This is a question I've seen flying around lately, more than I wanted to, I would say. So, in this video, I am going to explain to you what it means to live in the end. How do you know that you're not living in the end? And what to do if you're not, from going to you're not living in the end to live in the end. Please be sure to like this video and comment. This helps the video and the channel as a whole. And subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, so more people like you will learn how to live in the end and manifest their desires and become master manifestors. So, what does it mean to live in the end? Okay, living in the end, it's a psychological place. It's a place where you live inside. And it has nothing to do with your 3D circumstances. It's where you are from within. This is what it means to live in the end. So, when you live in the end of your wish fulfilled, it means that you live from that state. You are feeling, thinking, acting, and reacting from the place where you already have your desire, where you know that it is done. And again, it has absolutely nothing to do with your circumstances, with whatever situation you might be in right now in your three-dimensional world. This is why my last quote in my Instagram says, constantly bringing up your 3D circumstances comes from a deep misunderstanding of this law and of who you truly are. So this means that even if right now you are doing your imaginal act, you are working on your state, the state of being who you want to be, of being the person that you want to be, having their desire. Even if right now you are seeing things that are completely opposite your desire fulfilled, you do not react to it. Frankly, you even don't really even care about it. It's what it means to live in the end, or live in the end of your wish fulfilled. Let's say there is a gift that you know you're going to get for Christmas. Let's say you don't have that gift right now. Obviously, you don't have it because it's a gift that you are going to get in a couple of weeks, as from the time I'm making this video, right? So you are going to get a gift that you really, really, really want for Christmas. But right now, you don't have it. But you know that you're getting that gift. How do you feel? Do you feel needy about the gift? Do you feel anxious about the gift? Do you feel anxious if someone comes up to you and tells you you're not going to have this or that, whatever your gift is, and they're telling you you're not going to have it, but you know you are, because whoever is going to give you that gift, they already told you that they were going to give you that gift for Christmas. So, no matter what people tell you, no matter what happens in your world right now, you wouldn't care, right? You would not react. You would hear it, you would see it, whatever, but you would not react to it at all because you know that you're getting this gift. This is how you feel when you truly, truly live in the end of your wish fulfilled. No matter what you see in the world of shadows, no matter what people tell you, no matter whatever, you live in the end, you live from the end, you are in that psychological place where you know that it is done because you already are that person in your imagination who has their desire. So no matter what happens, no matter what happens in this 3D world, you do not care because you know that your gift, your desire is already yours. And that in time, since in this world we're living through linear time, in time you are going to get it. That, my friends, that's what living in the end is. So now that you know what living in the end is, what not living in the end is, well, you know that very well, guys, because that's what a lot of you are doing every day. And why do I say this? Because I speak to you guys, like I said many times, on a daily basis. And I read your comments, I read your posts, I read your questions everywhere. So I know, right? Many people, after their desires, mostly the SP, but any type of desires, are not living in the end at all. So for example, if you are reacting in any way, shape, or form to your 3D circumstances in a negative way, you're not living in the end. I'm not saying to blindfold you and ignore it. That's a word I used to use a long time ago, but I'm not even using anymore because it's very confusing for a lot of people. So it's not that you have to ignore what's happening to you, because you shouldn't. You should use it as feedback. Okay, what is this teaching me? Right? That's how you use what's happening to you right now in your 3D. But you do not react in the sense that, oh my God, this happens now, so it means that I can have my desire. Every time you ask me questions about, for example, should I contact my SP? And let's say it's an SP that you are in no contact with whatsoever. The answer is no. No, 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 no. Why are you asking me if you should contact an SP that you have zero contact with? You are asking me the question because you are hoping that it's going to do something for your manifestation. But the thing is, I promise you that it's going to do nothing for you. Nothing at all. And Neville mentioned that several times. Thinking, hoping that doing anything in the 3D will help you manifest your desire, it's fooling yourself. So you can. There is no rule out there that says, oh, no, you can't contact your SP, whatever, do whatever you want. But if you are contacting an SP that you have zero contact with ever, thinking that this is going to change anything, it's not, right? And if anything, it's proof that you're not living in the end. If you feel that you have to take some kind of action that is absolutely non-inspired just because you feel that I think it's going to help, that's not going to help. This is not what's going to help. This is not what's going to help you manifest your SP. And on top of that, it's proof that you're not living in the end. So basically, every time you have questions about what should I do, I don't know if I'm doing this right, and what about this, and what about that, and looking for signs. Oh yeah, those signs. Every time you're doing any of those things, you're not living in the end. And you know what? Even reacting too much to a positive movement, it's not living in the end. If I have a desire, and I've done that many times myself, when I manifest something and I see positive movements, I do my very best to not react too much to it. Because think about it. If you react too much to a positive movement, number one, you are going also to react very much when you have a negative movement. That's number one. But really, if you are reacting that much to a bridge, right? That's what those movements are. They are just bridges, right? If you are reacting too excitedly about a positive movement, this is very subtle, but it's also a sign that you're not living in the end. Because guess what? This is why I personally don't react too excitedly when I have positive movements. Because to me, if I do, it's a reminder. Oh yeah, you're all excited now because you don't have this thing yet, so you are all excited about that little movement. I'm not into imagining and manifesting movements. I don't care about movements. That's not my end. What I care about, it's my end. So I'll get excited when I get that. So while I may have a smile on my face, I may feel good. If I see some positive movements, I also try my best to remain calm and unreactive. And that's what you should do. Because I promise you that people, and again, I speak to many people manifesting number one, an SP, and also many other things, right? But I promise you that all the people that I know that I've coached that are getting very excited about positive movements are also getting very depressed when they get opposite movements. So here again, trying to keep a balanced reaction to whatever it is in this 3D world, good, bad, neutral, trying to stay calm and collected no matter what movement you're seeing. It's really important, and it's proof that you are really living in the end of your wish fulfilled. So now, if you are not living in the end right now, what does it mean and how to change this? Well, if you're not living in the end right now, and you've known this law for a little while, and you've even been coached by me or some other people, or watched all the videos out there and read Neville and you name it, and you're still not living in the end, it's because there's a difference between consuming information, right, even from a coach during a one-on-one session. It's one thing to take in information, and it's another to go into practice, right? You've got to do it, right? That's why the Bible says, don't be hearers only, but be doers of the word, right? That's what it means. If you are just hearers, you read, you listen, you watch, but you're not doing anything about it, you could do this forever and you will still not live in the end. So what's the practice here? You go in imagination. In imagination, you can be and have anything that you want. Because imagination is the fourth dimension, and it doesn't have any of the limitations that exist in the 3D. The 4D is more powerful than the 3D. Just like the 3D is more powerful than the 2D. The second dimension is a picture, a painting, a movie. There's nothing you can do in there, right? You have to be in the 3D to create any of those things, to take a picture, to paint a painting, to make a movie, right? You create in your 3D a two-dimensional picture. Well, you do the same thing in the 4D. In the four-dimensional world, you create your three-dimensional world. And your four-dimensional world is God, and it's your imagination. No matter what you want to call it, It's where you can create what you want to experience. And again, when I say create, it's the wrong word because creation is finished. So let's say it's where you choose what you want to experience. So when you go in imagination and you have a specific desire, you need to be that person who has their desire. You need to imagine how you would feel if you had it. Once you know how you would feel if you were the person that you want to be, you feel that in imagination over and over through the course of days, weeks, and months if you have to, until you feel that it's sunk in, which is also called the Sabbath, which is the knowing, that peaceful place where you know it is done no matter what. And you know that it's done because you know, you understand and know that imagination creates reality. This is so true that even if you don't quite believe something, do the test. If you keep on imagining it, you will manifest it. Even if you don't quite believe it, it will happen. I know that for a fact. If I go back to my teenage years, I didn't know the law at all. I didn't even know the law of attraction, so much less the law of assumption, because I always had a huge imagination. As a matter of fact, I think that I lived more in my imagination than anywhere else. I imagined some things that would have sounded completely impossible to manifest, but I did manifest them. Did I believe them? No, not really. I don't think I believed it, but I kept going there in my imagination. Therefore, it manifested, right? So while it is better if you can believe, but don't get stuck on that, right? If you don't really believe it, eventually you will believe it more and more, for one thing. But the thing is, even if you don't quite 100% believe it, it will manifest. So that's how you live in the end. You go there in your four-dimensional world, and you do it over and over. This is what it means to persist. We don't persist in doing techniques. We persist in being who we want to be inside. That's what we do, right? If you want to use techniques to help you, go ahead. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But whatever technique you are using, this is for the reason you are using it. It's to make you feel that you are this person. So basically, if you are not living in the end, no matter how long you've known me, no matter how much I've told you so far, some of you listening to this, I know I've told you the value of a book by now. If I had written everything that I've told you, I would have a big, thick book in my hand, right? No kidding. So if you're not living in the end, no matter how much I've told you, no matter how much you read, even from Neville himself, no matter how many videos you've watched from how many coaches, if you are still not living in the end of your wish fulfilled, it's simply that you have not gone to the place where this is created, which is your imagination. And when you imagine, by the way, Neville said something very, very important, actually vital, which is to leave the world alone, which means to let go of all your rational thinking, circumstances, anything that has to do with this 3D world. You leave it alone. You leave it there in the 3D, Because when you are in your imagination, that shouldn't be there at all. And you lose yourself in it. As I mentioned in my last podcast, which is a phrase from Neville, you lose yourself in the imaginal act. And here's a little gift for you. Let Neville himself tell you that.
So tonight, take it seriously. If you really have an objective in this world, and you're waiting for something to happen on the outside to make it so, forget it. Do it in your own wonderful human imagination. Actually bring it into being in your own imagination. Conjure a scene which would imply the fulfillment of that dream. And lose yourself in the act as you contemplate it. And completely lose yourself in that state. If you're completely absorbed in it, you would objectify it and you would see it seemingly independent of your perception of it. But even if you do not have that intensity, if you lose yourself in it and feel it to be true, the imaginal act, then drop it. In a way you do not know, it will become true. It will objectify itself on the screen of space.
Thank you for watching, guys. It was a little bit of a longer video than usual, but it was necessary, I think. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.